Hi guys, I'm Jessie of Crochet by Jessie. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be another Mosaic Crochet walkthrough tutorial, and I'm really looking forward to it because it's a little bit of a different design compared to what I have done until now. Today's design is going to be how to make this lightning bolt. You're going to have a step-by-step, and I'm also going to have the pattern chart in the description below as well, so do keep an eye out for that if you'd like to have a copy yourself. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. This is a bit different to a lot of the designs I do, but it's funky, it's a little bit different, and it's a way for you guys to get a little bit more practice with how to Mosaic crochet. So with all of that being said, let's get into today's tutorial. For today's tutorial, I have got the pattern chart. Ignore my ever so reliable printer as always, but you can see that it is clearly a lightning bolt. I've got the lightning bolt colour, I've got the background colour, and then I've got a 4mm crochet hook and a pair of scissors that I'll be needing to use a lot. So first things first, I have already done my slip knot here. We're going to do our first row here. So this first row you'll see is the background colour, the brown, which I've got here. And then the entirety of the row is blank boxes, which means it's a row of single crochet. But what we're going to do first is, because you'll see they've got 1 to 24, we're going to do a total of 24 chains. And then once we've done that, I will show you how we finish off this first row. I have done my 24 chains, this is how it looks. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to do one extra chain. The reason we do that is because we're going to skip that chain we've just done. So we're going to go into the second chain and then in every chain after that and work one single crochet into every single stitch. And then once we've done that, that's essentially that first row on the chart done. So just keep doing a single crochet into every single stitch until we get to the other side of this row. I've done all of the single crochet, so that is the first row completely done. I'm then going to chain, grab my scissors, cut the yarn and pull through. So that is row 1 done. What we're going to do is, before we start row 2, we're just going to look and see what we need to do. So we're going to be using the yellow yarn, so this yarn here, and then the entirety of this row is also blank, so that means it's going to be another row of single crochet. What we're going to do to start off, the first stitch and the last stitch of this row is always going to be a single crochet into the front and back loop. So I'm just going to put my hook through, and then when I attach it, some people have been asking me, so I'm just going to show it a little bit more clearly. I hold the tail back like this, pull through, do a chain, and that kind of secures it, and then I do that single crochet in the front and back loop. And that's how I do it. You can do it however, but I just find that's an easier way to attach. And then we are going to work a single crochet into every other stitch until we get to that final stitch for this row. So just do a single crochet in the back loop only for every other stitch. And I'm just going to keep doing that, and then I will show you guys how we finish off this row. Row 2 is nearly done. I just need to do the final stitch, which is the single crochet into the front and back loop of that last stitch. We're then going to chain, grab our scissors, cut our yarn and pull through. That is row 2 done. So for the next row, row 3, is when we're going to start to do the actual pattern. You're going to start to see it from there. One thing I will note is that typically in some of my other videos, I drop down and then completely cover this section of yellow just to kind of deal with the spacing of the design. But as you can see, I've not done that here just because I kind of want to show you guys another way of doing it. You may see that in some of my top, I've got a top Mosaic crochet pattern that came out recently, and I start off like this, and I've got a few more in the woodworks and I'm going to start off in the same way. So I thought it was worthwhile just doing a slightly different version of Mosaic crochet swatches just so you guys can work with that a little bit. We are now on to row number 3. I've already attached with that single crochet into the front and back loop for the first stitch. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start off by doing 16 double crochet. So 16 double crochet where we drop down into that previous row of the brown yarn, and essentially choose to cover up the majority of the yellow so that what we do show starts to work up as our design. So 16 of these double crochet. I'm going to finish this off myself, and then I'm going to show you guys how we finish off the rest of the row once I've done that. Just finished the 16 double crochet, and then after that you've got 2 single crochet and then 4 double crochet. So we're going to do our 2 single crochet going into the back loop only of the yellow yarn. So that's 1 and then 2. So that's going to be the bottom part of the lightning bolt. And then we're going to finish off the rest of this row. So we've got 4 double crochet. That's the second one I'm just finishing. And then 3. Make sure I'm not pulling my loose ends into my stitches as I do that. So then I've just got 1 more, final double crochet, and then the last stitch, the single crochet into the front and back loop of the last stitch. If I can get the hook in, there we are. We're then going to chain, grab some scissors, cut the yarn and pull through. And this is row number 3 done. I have done the first single crochet in the front and back loop for the start of row 4. Row 4 is going to be 16 single crochet, 2 double crochet and then 4 single crochet. So it's essentially the opposite of the previous row. So we're just going to start off by doing 16 single crochet, and then you'll see we're going into the back loop only. We're leaving those front loops open because we're going to need to use them in future rows. So just keep doing this until you've done all 16 single crochet, and then I will show you guys how we're going to finish off this row. All of those single crochet are done. So what we're going to do now is we've got the 2 double crochet. So we're going to drop down into those 2 stitches that we chose to reveal in the previous row. So this is how they're looking. And then we're going to do another 4 single crochet going into the back loop only. So that's 2, 3, keep getting those loose ends, I'm just grabbing at them, shouldn't be. So I've done 3, and then the 4th one. And then the final stitch is the single crochet into the front and back loop. Then we're going to chain, grab some scissors. If I take a while to do it, apologies, my nails are getting long and so I can't pick the scissors up very well. So this is how it is looking once you've done the 4th row. I've done the first single crochet in front and back loop for the start of row 5. Row 5 is going to be 14 double crochet, 4 single crochet and then 4 double crochet. So we'll start to work up the beginning of the double crochet group that we've got to do. So that's 14 in total. The reason we are doing a bit of a decline, because the previous time we were doing the double crochet in brown it was 16, is because that's what's enabling the increase for the bottom part of the lightning bolt. So just keep doing your double crochet, dropping down into that front loop of the previous row of brown until you've got 14 done, and then we're going to finish off the rest of the row together. Just done that cluster of double crochet. So the next step is 4 single crochet and then 4 double crochet. So 4 single crochet into the back loop only of the yellow yarn. So it's 1, 2, 3 and 4. That's how it should be looking. And then we're going to do another 4 double crochet, dropping down into the front loop only of the previous row of the brown yarn. And we're nearly, you're starting to see a little bit of progress in the design. It will still obviously take a while before you really see it developing, but I love just seeing the increase and just knowing the design is just going to start to come across the overall swatch, which is really fun. So single crochet into the front and back loop for the final stitch of this row, chain, we're going to grab some scissors, cut the yarn and pull through, and that is row number 5 done. We're starting row number 6. I've done that first single crochet in the front and back loop. So row number 6 is going to be 14 single crochet, 4 double crochet, 4 single crochet. So essentially the exact opposite again of the previous row, row 5. You tend to see that happening quite a lot with Mosaic Crochet because it's kind of like the negative of the previous row. That's the kind of like the setup row before you're able to start to work the pattern design aspect that you actually want seen in it. So we're going to do all of our 14 single crochet in the back loop only. And then again, once we get to that stage, I will show you guys how to finish off this row. All of the single crochets are done. So now we're going to do 4 double crochet, dropping down into that front loop of the previous row of the yellow yarn that we've still got revealed. So you'll see we then have 4 of the double crochet together. So we're just doubling the amount of the design in the second row that it's visible. So I'm just finishing up that last double crochet. So we've got 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then 4 single crochet, just going into the back loop only. So this is the 3rd, this is the 4th, and then the single crochet in the front and back loop for the last stitch. And then we're going to chain, we're going to grab our scissors, cut our yarn and pull through. And that is row number 6 done. We're now starting row 7. I've done that first stitch already. We're going to be doing 12 double crochet, 6 single crochet and then 4 double crochet to finish off. So that's 12 double crochet dropping down into the front loop of the previous row of the brown yarn just to cover up this section of yellow that we don't want to see. So once I have finished my 12, I'm just going to continue and do the rest myself. Once that's done, I'm going to show you guys how to finish off from this section here onwards. All 12 double crochet are done. That's how it's looking. The next step is the 6 single crochet, and again we're just starting to increase the actual design part. So that is 6 single crochet going into the back loop only for the yellow part of the project. So that is 3. Make sure I'm keeping those loose ends not tangled. So that's 4, 5, and 6. And that is how it looks once you've done that. And then the last part that we're going to do is we're going to do 4 double crochet, dropping down into that previous row of the brown yarn. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then the final stitch is the single crochet into the front and back loop. We're then going to chain, grab some scissors, cut the yarn, pull through, and that is row number 7 done. I've attached and done the first stitch for row 8. So row 8 is 12 single crochet, 6 double crochet, and then 4 single crochet. So that's 12 single crochet going into back loop only. And once you have done those 12, I will show you guys what the next step is for this row. All 12 of the single crochet are done. We're then going to drop down and we're going to do 6 double crochet into that previous row of the yellow. So that's 1, 2, oh, make sure I'm going to the right part, 3, 4, that's how it's looking so far, 5 and 6, there we are, and then 4 single crochet going into the back loop only, so 1, 2, 3 and 4. And then the single crochet into the front and back loop for the last stitch. We're going to chain, grab some scissors, cut the yarn and pull through. And what is going to be important from this next stage that you'll start to see, so you'll see the first 2 double crochets we did, you were just kind of going upwards from there. You're actually going to then go inwards next, so we're not going to work on the top of that in the yellow, so we're not going to drop down into the yellow again. So the overall shape is really going to start to form, I'd say, from the next few rows. We are now on to row number 9. So row 9 is going to be a total of 10 double crochet, 8 single crochet, and then 4 double crochet. So that is 10 single crochet as the first part, dropping down into the front loop of the previous row of the brown yarn. So keep doing this until you get to 10 double crochet, and then we'll finish off the rest of this row together. We've done our 10 double crochet. We're then going to be doing 8 single crochet. So 8 single crochet in the back loop only of the yellow yarn. And yeah, you'll see from the next row onwards, because we're not going to work into this as a drop down double crochet in yellow, you're going to start to kind of like go off to the right hand side in the design. And that's obviously needed to have the signature kind of lightning effect look that you see in the pattern chart. So I'm just going to continue, and this is the last of the single crochet. We're then going to drop down and do 4 double crochet in the front loop of the previous row of the brown yarn. So that is 3 and then 4. And then we're going to be doing our single crochet into the front and back loop of that last stitch, chain, grab some scissors, cut the yarn and pull through. And that is row number 9 done. We're now on to row number 10. So row number 10 is 10 single crochet, 6 double crochet, and then 6 single crochet. So we're going to start off with our 10 single crochet, and that is into the back loop only, going into the brown yarn. And then yeah, from this row you're going to start to see the staggered effect of the lightning bolt, so it is going to start to go a little bit more on the right hand side. So we're just going to keep doing our 10 single crochet, and what I'm going to do is, because we're not having as much single crochet to do, I'm just going to continue, because I've been talking and now I'm nearly done already. There we are. So oh, if I say that and then I completely mess up that last single crochet. Okay, so 10 single crochet done. We're then going to be doing our 6 double, dropping down into that previous row of the yellow. And remember, we're not going to be doing the last 2 double crochets that we've been typically doing, because we're having that little effect of it going across the swatch. So that is 4, 5 double crochets and 6. So that is how it is looking. That is exactly how it is meant to look. And then we're going to do 6 single crochet going into the back loop only. So I've done 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So that is how it's looking. And then the final stitch, the single crochet into the front and back loop. We're going to chain, grab some scissors, cut the yarn and pull through. and that is the end of row number 10. We are now onto row number 11. Row number 11 is going to be 8 double crochet, 8 single crochet, and then 6 double crochet. So we're going to start that off. So double crochet, dropping down into that front loop of the previous row of the brown yarn. So just keep doing this until you've got all 8 of your double crochet, and then we're going to continue from there. Our 8 double crochet are done, so now it's time for 8 single crochet. That's 8 single crochet going into the back loop only. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's how it should look. So then we've got 6 double crochet that we're going to be doing for the rest of this row, and then the final stitch, the single crochet into the front and back loop. So I've done the first 2, just continue this for the next 4, and then the single crochet in the front and back loop, chain, and then cut your yarn and pull it through. I'm going to finish this off and then I'll show you what it should look like when it's done. Row 11 is done, and this is how it is looking so far. Row number 12 is beginning. I've just done that first stitch as always now. So it's going to be a total of 8 single crochet, 8 double crochet, and then 6 single crochet. So 8 single crochet going into the back loop only of the brown yarn. What I'm going to do is I am just going to probably do this entire row in one clip because it's quite evenly balanced. So I've done most of the stitches already. So I've got 6, 7, and 8, and then I'm going to be doing a total of the 8 of the double crochet. So I'm going to drop down into that previous row of the yellow, going into the front loop only. So at this point here, you'll see we actually have 2 rows where it's going to be joined up at this point. So it's literally from this stitch all the way across up until this stitch. We're just going to be doing all of that as double crochet. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so that is how it should look so far, guys. Really starting to make some good progress. And then 6 single crochet just going into the back loop only. So that is 3, 4, 5, and 6. Had a bit of a voice break there, not sure what happened. So final stitch is the single crochet in the front and back loop. We're going to chain, grab some scissors, cut our yarn and pull through, and that is row number 12 done. We are now onto row 13. Row 13 is 6 double crochet, 10 single crochet, and then 6 double crochet again. So we're going to do our 6 double crochet, if I can actually do the stitch right, dropping down to the previous front loop in the brown yarn row. I think I've worded that weirdly, but the previous brown row into the front loop. Don't know what happened with my wording there, but I became slightly inept. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're then going to do 10 single crochet going into the back loop only. So I'm going to let you guys finish that off. So just continue going until you've got 10 single crochet into the back loop only into the yellow yarn. The 10 single crochet are done, so now we're going to be doing 6 double crochet again, dropping down to that previous row of the brown yarn. And that time I say it, it sounds exactly how I mean to say it. I don't know what happened at the start of this row with my wording, because my wording was definitely not on point. Okay, so that is 5 and 6 done, and then we're going to do a single crochet into the front and back loop for the final stitch of this row. We're going to chain, we're going to grab a pair of scissors, and then we're going to cut the yarn and pull through. And that's row number 13 done. We're now on to row number 14, which is 6 single crochet, 8 double crochet, and then 8 single crochet. So we're going to start off with our 6 single crochet going into the back loop only. That is 4, 5, and 6. And then from this point onwards, we're then going to do 8 double crochet where we're dropping down into that previous row of the yellow yarn. I have made a start, I've done the first 2. I'm going to let you guys finish that off, and then I'm going to show how we finish off this row. All 8 double crochet are done, so then we have another 8 single crochet going into the back loop only to do at our next stage. So that is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then a single crochet in the front and back loop of that last stitch. We're then going to chain, grab some scissors, cut our yarn and pull through, and that is the end of row number 14. We're now on to row number 15, which is 6 double crochet followed by 14 single crochet and then 2 double crochet. So we're going to do our 6 double crochet together to start off, because at this point the design is really starting to just move to the side, which makes it a little bit easier to get the first section done in one go. So that is 3, oh, make sure I'm stitching the right place, 4, 5 and 6. And that's how it looks. And then we're going to be doing a total of those 14 single crochet going into the back loop only of the yellow yarn. And so I'm going to do the first few with you guys, but what we're going to do is I'm going to let you finish off all 14. And then once you've done the 14, I'm then going to show you guys, as always, just how to finish off this row. So this is how it's looking so far. Keep doing that until you've got 14 single crochet in the back loop only. I've done the 14 single crochet. We then have 2 double crochet left to do. So that's 1 and 2, and then a single crochet into the front and back loop of the last stitch. We're going to chain, oh, grab some scissors if I can pick them up, cut the yarn, and that is row number 15. Just a quick note, you'll see from this point, row number 15 here is just setting up for this big section and kind of like the real defining part of what I think is the defining part of the lightning bolt. So you're really going to start to see progress from the next few rows onwards. We're now on to row number 16, which is 6 single crochet, 14 double crochet and 2 single crochet. So we're going to start with our 6 single crochet going into the back loop only. So that's 3, 4, 5, and then the last one of the group, number 6. We're then going to be doing a total of 14 double crochet. I am definitely not going to be filming all of that because that's going to feel extremely repetitive for you guys. So I'm just going to do the first few double crochet, dropping down to that previous row of the yellow yarn. So I've done the first 4, you're going to do another 10, which will take up to this point. So there will be a double crochet in this stitch as well. And then I'll show you guys how we finish off this row once we get to the end of it. So we've just done those 14 double crochet. The next thing we're going to do is just 2 single crochet in the back loop only. That is 1 and 2. And then we're doing a single crochet in the front and back loop for the final stitch. We're going to chain 1, we're going to cut our yarn and pull it through, and that is the end of row number 16. We're now on to row number 17, which is 4 double crochet, 16 single crochet and then 2 double crochet. So we'll get our 4 double crochet done together because that is not too many stitches to do in one go whilst filming. So 3 and 4. We're then going to do a total of 16 single crochet going into the back loop only for the yellow yarn. So again, I am not going to film the entire process of that. Just make sure that you guys repeat this step a total of 16 times. So keep doing that and then I'll show you guys how to finish this row. Our 16 single crochet are done. So it's time to just do the last 2 stitches, the 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. We're then going to do the single crochet in front and back loop of the last stitch. We're going to chain, grab our scissors, if I can pick them up properly, cut our yarn and pull through. And that is the end of row number 17. We're on to row number 18 now, which is going to be 4 single crochet, 14 double crochet and then 4 single crochet. So we'll get our first 4 single crochet going into the back loop only done. So that's 2, 3 and 4. And then followed by 14 double crochet dropping down into that previous row of the yellow yarn. So I'm just going to do the first few just to give you guys a little idea of what it should look like at the start. So you're going to do a total of 14 double crochet. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like once you have done that, and then we'll finish off this row together. Just done those 14 double crochet, that's what it should look like. And then we have a total of 4 single crochet going into the back loop only. So we're going to start them now. That's 1, 2, 3 and 4. And then a single crochet in the front and back loop of the last stitch. We're then going to chain, grab some scissors, cut the yarn and pull through, if I can do that. And that is row number 18 done. We're now on to row number 19, which is 4 double crochet, 14 single crochet and then another 4 double crochet. So we'll get that first 4 double crochet done. So that's 1, 2, if I can do the stitch properly, there we are. And then 3 and 4. We're then going to be doing a total of 14 single crochet into the back loop only, going into the yellow yarn. So I'm going to make a start and then finish it off myself, and then as always show you guys what it should look like, and then we'll finish off the rest of the row together. But this is how it's looking so far. The single crochet are now done, so it's a total of 4 double crochet, which will take us up to the last stitch of this row. So that's 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then we're going to do our single crochet into the front and back loop of the last stitch, chain, grab some scissors, cut our yarn and pull through, and that is the end of row number 19. We're on to row number 20, which is 8 single crochet, 10 double crochet and then 4 single crochet. So we'll do our 8 single crochet together to start off, if I can make sure I don't crochet a loose end in. So that's in the back loop only, these single crochets. So that's 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then so once that is done, what we're going to be doing next from this stage is we're going to be doing those 10 double crochet. So 10 double crochet, dropping down into that previous row of the yellow yarn. And I'm not going to do all 10 as always, I'm just going to make a start. So that is how it's looking once 3 is done. Just continue until you've got all 10 double crochet done, and then we'll finish this row together. All 10 of our double crochets are done, and then it's now 4 single crochet going into the back loop only. So that's 3 and 4, followed by the last stitch, the single crochet in the front and back loop. We're then going to chain, cut our yarn and pull through. And that is how it should look once row number 20 is done. You're really starting to see the lightning bolt effect, so we've not got a heck of a lot left to do, and then we'll be done with this tutorial. We're now on to row number 21, which is 6 double crochet, 12 single crochet, and then 4 double crochet. So we're going to start off and do our 6 double crochet, dropping down into the front loop of that previous row of the brown yarn. So I have just done the first 3, I've got another 3 to do. So I've got 4, 5, and 6, if I can get into the stitch properly, there we are. We then have a total of the 12 single crochet going into the back loop only. So I'm just going to do the first few as always. So I've just done the first 3, keep doing this until you've got 9 more single crocheted for a total of 12. So this section here, 12 single crochet going into the back loop only. So I've just done all of those single crochet. We now have a total of 4 double crochet to do for this next part. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then a single crochet in the front and back loop for the last stitch. We're then going to chain, grab some scissors, cut our yarn, if I can there, and pull through, and that is row number 21 done. We are now onto row number 22, which is 6 single crochet, 10 double crochet, and then 6 single crochet. So we'll start off with our single crochet, total of 6 going into the back loop only. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, that's how it's looking. We're then going to do 10 double crochet, dropping down into that previous row of the yellow. So I'm just going to do the first few. This is how it looks once you've done 3. So continue doing that until you have 10 double crochets, and then I'll show again how we finish this row. So all 10 of those double crochet are now done. We then have a total of 6 single crochet going into the back loop only into the brown yarn left to do, and that will take us all the way up to the final stitch for this row. We really don't have a heck of a lot left to do, guys. We're on row 22, and you don't need to even do the full chart. I'll show you guys what I mean when we get to row 29. So we have like just over a handful of rows left. So final of those stitches, and then the final stitch for the entire row is the single crochet in the front and back loop. We're going to chain, we're going to try and grab our scissors, cut our yarn and pull through, and that is row number 22 done. We're on to row 23, which is 4 double crochet, 12 single crochet, and then 6 double crochet. So we'll just make a start with the double crochet and we'll get the first lot done. So it's 4 dropping down to that previous row of the brown. So 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to do 12 single crochet, just going into the back loop only of the yellow yarn. Just going to do a few more and then I'll finish it off myself, and then we'll finish the rest of the row together. But this is how it's looking so far. Okay, the single crochet are done, and then we have 6 double crochet dropping down to that previous row of brown left to do, and then that will be the end of this row. There we are, nearly done. That's 5 and that's 6, and then it's a single crochet in the front and back loop for the final stitch. Like that, we're going to chain, grab our scissors, cut our yarn and pull through, and that is row number 23 done. So we really don't have a lot left to do, guys. We're now on to row number 24, which is 4 single crochet, 12 double crochet, and then 6 single crochet. So 4 single crochet going into the back loop only to start. That's 3 and 4. And now we're going to be doing our 12, had a little moment there, our 12, sorry, double crochet. Just decided to stop speaking mid-sentence. So 12 double crochet, dropping down into that previous row of the yellow. So keep doing that until you've got all 12 done, and then we'll finish off this row together. Our 12 double crochet are done. So now it is a total of 6 single crochet just going into the back loop only. That is 3, 4, 5, and 6. There we are. And then we're doing our single crochet in the front and back loop for that final stitch. We're going to chain, grab some scissors, cut the yarn and pull through. And that is row number 24 done. We're on to row 25. So row 25 is 4 double crochet, 12 single crochet, and then 6 double crochet. So again, we're just going to do the first part of this row. So that's 4 double crochet, dropping down into the previous row of the brown yarn. And that is the 4th one done. Then it is 12 single crochet going into the back loop only of the yellow yarn. So I'm just going to do the first handful, and then if you guys finish that off, we'll get to this stage here and then we'll finish off the rest of the row. 12 single crochets are done. Now it is the 6 double crochet that's going to take us to the end of this row. So that's 2, 3, if I can do the stitch properly. I'm having like jelly fingers today, guys, honestly. And then 5 and 6. We're then doing a single crochet in the front and back loop of the final stitch, chain, grab our scissors, cut our yarn and pull through. And that is row number 25 done. And you can see we really do not have much left to do. We're on to row 26. Row 26 is 4 single crochet, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 double crochet, and then 8 single crochet. So let's make a start with that. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4 single crochet going into the back loop only, and then it's 10 double crochet dropping down into that previous row of the yellow yarn. So I've made a bit of a start, but finish that off yourself, guys. So 10 double crochet, and then we will finish the row off together. The double crochets are done, and then we just have 8 single crochet going into the back loop only left to do. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then the last stitch is the single crochet in the front and back loop. We're then going to chain, grab some scissors, cut our yarn and pull through. And that is row number 26 done. We're now on to row 27. So row 27 is 2 double crochet, 12 single crochet, and then 8 double crochet. So we'll do our first 2 double crochet where we're dropping down to that previous row of brown. And then from this point onwards, it is 12 single crochet just going into the back loop only of the yellow yarn. So this is how it's looking so far. Finish off those 12 single crochet, and then we'll finish off this row together. The single crochet are done, and this is how it's looking. So to finish off this row, we have got 8 double crochets to do. So 8 double crochets where we're dropping down into that previous row of the brown yarn, going into the front loop that we've left available for us to be able to do this. And then from this point onwards, you can finish it off after doing another 2 rows, just based on what you want to do with the placement. And I'll explain what I mean once we get to that stage. Okay, last double crochet is done. And then single crochet into the front and back loop for the final stitch. We're going to chain, grab some scissors, cut the yarn and pull through. And that is row number 27 done. We are on to row number 28, which is 2 single crochet, 12 double crochet, and then 8 single crochet. So we're going to do a start for the single crochet now. So 2 single crochet into the back loop only of the brown yarn, followed by 12 double crochet, dropping down to that previous row of the yellow yarn. So I made a little bit of progress myself, and then you guys just finish off it. You've got another 8 to do because I've just done 4. So a total of 12 double crochet, and then we'll finish the row together. The double crochets are now done. This is the last of the double crochet for the yellow that we are going to be doing, because we've essentially, once this row is done, the actual design part will be done. So we've just got our 8 single crochet going into the back loop only left to do. So we're just going to finish that off. And then after that point, I think the next row I'm probably going to count as the last row based on just the spacing overall. And you guys will see what I mean when it's done as well. So just finishing off these last ones, and then single crochet into the front and back loop of the final stitch, chain, grab some scissors, cut the yarn and pull through. And that's row number 28 done. We're on to row number 29, and for row 29, it's 2 double crochet, 12 single crochet, and then 8 double crochet. So we'll start off with our 2 double crochet, dropping down into that previous row of the brown yarn. And it will look like that. And then we've got 12 single crochet going into the back loop only along the top of the lightning bolt to do. So I've made a bit of a start. Keep doing that until you've done all 12 single crochet into the back loop only, and then we'll finish off this row together. So this is how it's looking. You'll see what I mean now about the overall spacing, because I feel like the spacing at the top here matches the bottom fairly well. So it doesn't feel necessary to do anything else really once this row is done. So what we're going to do now is 8 double crochet, dropping down and working into the front loop of the previous row of the brown yarn. So from this point onwards, yeah, like I said, you don't really need to do any more. It's your choice if you want to keep adding to it. You can do whatever you want, guys, because it's obviously your own swatch. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I think I will finish it up once this round is done. This row, sorry. I keep saying row and round, but just know that I mean row. So if you hear me say round, just honestly disregard it. I've also managed literally the last part of this whole swatch to get like a little knot there. So all 8 are done. We've got a single crochet in the front and back loop. We're going to chain, grab our scissors, cut our yarn, pull through. That's row number 29 done, and that is the overall design done. So this is how it is looking once the overall design is done. Honestly, what I'm probably going to do is I'll probably just get rid of the last 2 rows at the top, because they really just don't feel necessary. If you want to add on to it, then obviously do that, but I'm not going to do it in the chart. This pattern chart as well will be available in the description below, just so you guys can get a copy of it yourselves. But yeah, this is how it is looking, and I'm so happy with the results, and hopefully you guys are too. The tutorial is done, so by this stage you should hopefully have a lightning swatch looking somewhat similar to this. Let me know how you guys found this tutorial in the comments below, and honestly, if there's any fairly basic beginner friendly design idea you have in your head, let me know that in the comments below as well, because if I can work it up and I can make a fairly beginner friendly pattern chart, I will do that. So I'd love to be able to get a bit of input from you guys, because I'm so aware that these swatches are the best form of practice just to get a little bit more confident with Mosaic Crochet before you tackle larger projects. And I still want it to be fun and different, which is why I just love making lots of different tutorials like this, just so you guys are still enjoying Mosaic Crochet without repeating the same swatches again and again. Thank you guys so much for watching today's tutorial, and if you're at this stage in the video and you're not subscribed, then please do consider doing so, as well as pressing the bell to be notified when my next video is up. Keep an eye out, because there's always going to be something Mosaic Crochet related on my channel, because it is my favourite form of crochet. With all of that being said, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!